Hello, everyone. My I know my what is it? My scene there. It looks a little different. Um, I have been meaning to change it because I wasn't going to 100% keep that old one because they are even this one. It's a default Streamlabs scene uh, that I've adjusted to my own kind of proportions here. Uh, and I think this one works a little better on my laptop in terms of like it doesn't overly use as much CPU. Uh, Granted, I am at fucking 80% CPU usage right now. Uh, I will say that's surprising to me. Everything is still in the same place. I made sure everything is still in the same place. I put the chat box where it goes. I put the alert box where it goes. I put my model where it goes. Maybe my model can be moved a little bit further left. Yeah, that works. Wait, okay, yeah. I had to make sure that the chat box was actually there because that was weird. Um, but all right. Finally, I had a bit of a issue there a second ago. I did start the stream not long ago. I started the stream. Uh, stream quickly ended. I was having a internet issue, it seems. But I think that's fixed now. Sorry for the sniffling. But I do think this might be a little better. Like, it might not be quite as laggy. Just because, although it's still seeming a little bit laggy here, it's not animated. This particular one doesn't have animations, doesn't have, scene cuts, none of that. Doesn't have any kind of scene cuts, doesn't have anything of that nature. Which is sad. I did like the animations. But, when you can't, when you can barely handle that, it's probably best not to have them. Today, we are doing some of these job quests. That's my plan. I deleted the other two because there were two streams that were labeled this exact one, and it's because midstream it cut the stream midstream. It cut stream midstream. Then it came back and cut stream again, but now it's good. Now we're here. Now we're vibing. We are actually vibing again. You just showing me constellations? Is that all you're doing here? My Astro quests are back to level 35, by the way. Like, they are far back. I'm just gonna... It does feel a bit better not just leveling at the moment. I will get back to that, because I have to get all my classes to level 90. But I want to take a little break now that I've gotten the Makai achievements that I was trying really hard to get. That was the reason I was leveling up to 60 at that exact moment. Or else I would be leveling each individual class to 90. Because that's what I did with my Reaper, or my Dragoon and my Reaper. That's what I did. Gunbreaker was easy because I played through the main story as Gunbreaker. Oh, wait. Hold on. I gotta teleport over to the Anathenium Astrologicum. Astrologicum. Whatever it's called. They gotta use some big fucking words for that. Weirdly, playing Final Fantasy like this and this often has actually led me to getting a lot more like views and stuff, not only on Twitch but also on YouTube, which I'm really glad. I'm really glad I haven't like wait, where do I go for that? Is it in here? Yeah, it's up there. Okay. So I gotta learn redraw. I didn't have this. I'm very surprised. I'm just gonna skip the cutscene. Okay. Again, I'm just getting some of the abilities I probably should have had, like a long time ago. Redraw, it got put all the way the fuck up there. I'll probably pair that with these. I'm actually gonna put that there. I'm now getting all of my stuff in order. Gravity. I would probably much rather Benefic be 3, Gravity be 4. Technically still haven't learned Gravity. But we're getting there. We're getting to Gravity. Wait, who do I talk to? Who the fuck do I talk to? Oh, I talked to you. What the fuck did I jump down? I'm surprised it doesn't give me any kind of EXP. Normally they give at least some XP. Gotta go over to Limsa. They're gonna lag for a bit. My game actually might crash here. It's trying to lag. Or it's starting to lag. Hold on. Yeah, okay, my game is crashing. Hold on. My sound started cutting out. Let me check something. Maybe if I open Streamlabs in Administrator. Well, actually, I can't close Streamlabs right now. Let me close some stuff. I have to close some shit. Because my game was about to crash. It's always nice when you can tell your game is about to crash. Okay, let me restart this. I hate having to go through the whole thing anyways. Where it's like, oh, your game's crashed. Now you're back. You gotta load back in. Press your character. Then it tells you, oh, you logged out incorrectly. So you have to exit the game again in order to go back in. That's always really annoying. But the bitrate is much better now than it was. I could tell why my game was crashing now. Way too much stuff open. Connection poor. You know? Sometimes we can't always be the best connection here. Normally it's not poor is the bad thing. I'm not gonna lie. You see my name day and my guardian? I had no idea what that shit did. I had no idea what that shit did. And I was like, okay, how does this work? And I just chose like a random day. And I guess what is considered a month. And then I chose Helone because, you know, I just chose Helone. I was a paladin when I started out, so I was like, Helone sounds like the right person. Helone sounds like it would fit me. Come to find out, Helone is a hot woman in armor. Yeah, I'm not going to hide that. I'm not going to hide how I feel about Helone. Helone, however people pronounce it. It's always really bad when you can tell you're about to fucking crash. Okay. I know I'm about to crash, especially when... Yeah, okay, there we go. Things are actually fucking loading in. That's what I needed. Nothing loaded in at first. And so I was just running. I saw that the quest NPC wasn't here. And I was like, okay, well. That's how that goes. Okay, so I have to go down here first. Gotta gather info in Fisherman's Bottom. Yeah, I don't like actually having to come to Limsa here. Just because Limsa is... I have to go over to the Marauders Guild. Limsa is a big drag. Even when I'm not on stream, Limsa is a big drag on me. I gotta gather 2 bits of info. Bah. Where else is there info? Is it down? It's probably downstairs. Yeah, there it is. I completely forgot there was a downstairs here. Okay, I'm starting to get the abilities that I've been missing for a long time. Ooh, excuse me. Is it up here? Yeah, it's here. Hey, Ishgard guy. I don't actually Quimperane? Quimperane. Okay. Guess I'm gonna be fighting, I suppose. Am I gonna be fighting Carvalane? Carvalin? I can't pronounce these fucking names. Okay, so I have to ask the townspeople. Oh. What's wrong with the woman in front of you? Well, you're not the person I'm looking for. What? That's weird. Oh, there's another one. Oh. Is this her? Nope, it's not. Ifrit's fiery piss. You gotta love that. Okay. So that's not her. There's two here. Which one? This one. The other one said eyes. Okay. Um, Okay. There are just only pirates. This place is like full of pirates. You let your men lose their life, but you don't want to? All right. Well, let's see how it is. That's right. Okay, there we go. Hmm. I can finally stream. As I said, I know nobody else be able to know this. I had said this earlier in one of my other streams. Uh, I originally was gonna play the Gundam Battle Operations 2 network test uh, before I had started the stream, but I didn't realize that the network test had ended. Literally, I can't remember if it was yesterday or today. I'd only played it one day. I just wanted to test out the game. I know it's like a gotcha game, slightly like Armored Core, but way less like Armored Core. It's like a really bad knockoff Armored Core. Uh, which I don't mind. I don't mind that. Like, I love Armored Core games. I can't wait for the new Armored Core to come out. Armored Core is a great franchise in my opinion. I loved Armored Core for Answer. Uh, I played some of the older Armored Cores on like PlayStation, but Armored Core for Answer was the one I really got into and was like, yes, I love this. It just actually makes you feel like you're in a giant robot rather than like, oh hey, yeah, you're in a mech. Like in Gundam Evolution, you feel like you're in a. You don't feel as much like you're in a robot suit. Like, yes, the walking is slow, but them boosters are fast. In Armored Core, even with the boosts, you feel like you're in a high-powered, like, mecha. It's got all this weight to it. It does have tank controls, of course. But it's honestly good. I like it. I love Armored Core. And I cannot wait until the new one comes out. Oh, wait, I'm only getting XP. I thought I was only getting money. Okay, at the observatorium. But I genuinely, like, love Armored Core. I don't know if I'll even be able to play the new one on my PC, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to try and play it. That'd probably be something I would stream. Just because Armored Core is sick. It's fun as fuck. This is, by the way, this isn't just going to be my model for Final Fantasy. I will be using this PNG model for now. Because it'd be weird for me to change it every different game have a different PNG model. I don't think that's good. That would be good of me to do. Oh, there you are. I do really love Armored Core. It's like, again, my favorite series. I can't like talk about it enough because I don't know a ton of people that like Armored Core or who would want to talk about Armored Core. At one point, even when I was in middle school, I wrote a story about Armored Core for this graded thing. It was a graded thing that they were like, oh yeah, we're your English teachers, so you have to do this, but there's a chance it's graded, but there's a chance that it gets turned into a video by this one weird not animation, but this one video company that was trying their hardest, or they were, I guess, trying to get known. And so they were going to schools and being like, oh, hey, we have a contest. If you do this contest, we might turn your stories into a video. That kind of shit. I don't remember the exact specifics on it. I just remember that it was graded. Okay. Okay, so there's the new raid. That's the new raid quest. I should probably start that so I can actually get into that. I haven't done anything for it. Like, I beat the last one and then caught up to the story on it, but I never like went to go do that. Shit. Is she using gravity? Yeah. There we go. Finish that. I'm just trying to get caught up on the job quest so I have all of the abilities before I continue doing anything else. I don't think it'd be very good of me to continue going on with so little abilities. Or so few abilities, I should say. I am still like I don't like the idea that they specifically changed how Astrologians cards work. Just because they literally made it less unique as a class by making it, oh, everything provides a damage buff. Just because people were like, oh yeah, no, only use the damage buff. We don't need anything else. Because like the flavor of it is you gotta think about the flavor of your character, you know? Now it's just, oh, everything's damage buff. You like damage? Here's some more damage. Oh, you have the damage buff to everybody around you, but now you have a targeted damage buff too. Yeah, I hate that. I get it. It's good. But, like, I hate it. I hate that. Personally. Okay, so this one's easy. Sinestry. This one's an easy one. Okay, I get Astrologian's attire. Livelog at Camp Dragonhead. I do need to finish the level 90 DPS quest, the melee DPS. Then I need to finish, I need to get, ow, I bit my tongue. Ow, fuck. I need to get a healer to level 90 in order to do that. So I can actually start making progress towards getting Mentor. I am also so upset I didn't have this on stream. I would have loved to have called this Mentor out just straight up. There was a Mentor playing White Mage. I was playing tank with my friend. And we were just doing roulettes because they wanted money. Okay. So they're arresting her. Sick. I almost attacked him. So they're not real Temple Knights. Got it. What was I saying? I was doing. I was talking about that fucking White Mage. Okay, so there was a White Mage. I was playing with my friend. And there's this White Mage. They had the Mentor. They had the Mentor thing. They had the whole mentor, like, the mentor thing up. Like, what's that called? The mentor sign? And they decided, you know, oh, I'm white mage, I'm a mentor. I'm going to be, you know, controlling this dungeon. I'm a tank. Played tank for 4 years. Okay? And mentors, I know they're supposed to be like teaching people how to do the dungeon. They weren't teaching shit. Because instead of teaching anybody to play the dungeon, they only wiped us by not healing the tank multiple times. I even popped mitigations. I literally had to turn on my tank stance. Because I had forgot to turn it on. So I had to turn on my tank stance to save the DPS. The DPS is the 2 DPSs. And then one of my friend was the DPS. After that, I had to go save the healer because they wanted to pull the rest of the enemies on that first pull. Instead of healing anybody, they ran to go do that as I was turning on my tank stance and getting aggro. After that, you know, they decided, oh, hey, I'm not going to heal the tank. I popped all my mitigations. Literally, I had to pop all of them in order to try not to die, to the point to where I even had to pop my invulnerability as Paladin, Hallowed Ground. Had to pop Hallowed Ground, you know? I was shocked. I had to pop Hallowed Ground, but I couldn't get Hallowed Ground off fast enough, and I died because I didn't have any amount of regen with a motherfucker playing as White Mage, by the way. Probably the strongest straight healing in the game. White Mage. That really grinded my gears that I did all of that. And I still died, but I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. And so I went to pull the next thing. And this is that one where it's like the Drake spurs, those poison things. The White Mage, stood back, slapping the one Drake spur plant while I got the aggro and was coming back. They decided not to heal. Instead, to just type saying, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You have to come kill the plant first. And I was like, no, I'm getting aggro for the enemies so we can kill these and then go get the plants. We could kill these while you're killing the first plant and then only have to deal with the second plant by itself. It's very simple. Like, almost every tank I've been with in that, when I was a healer even, had done it that way. Me playing as any other healer, I've not died in that dungeon like that. But this guy thought, you know, hey, this is how it's done. This is how I do it. If you don't follow how I do it, I'm not healing you. To the point to where the other DPS left, just straight left, because they were tired of the healer complaining after the second pull. After the second pull, they complained enough that the DPS left. And then my DPS left. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, fuck this. I'm not sitting here and dealing with that. I'm not waiting for any other party, so I'm gonna leave. I wanted to kind of get another game with that white mage, just so I actually wanted to get the first boss and shirk the enmity onto him for being a little bitch. Yeah, it's petty, but like, the healer thought, oh, I'm healer. No, fuck you. Play at my speed. I am the tank. You play at my speed. And then change from, oh, wanting to aggro all the enemies at once to let me only aggro the plant. The first plant instead. Like, no. You gather the enemies, you heal me while I pull the enemies back, because you've got long enough range to do that. You're not fucking a DPS. You can't just DPS through it. Heal. I get it, you want to DPS. You're playing White Mage, the strongest pure healer. Some people say Astrologian is like the strongest. I don't agree with that. It's got one really good heal right here. Essential Dignity. At least up to level 60 where I've got everything else. It's got a lot of regen. It's got 2 separate regions. It's got Benefic and Benefic 2. Oh, it's also got this regen at level 58. But still, that's not how that works. You can't just say, yeah, no, I'm a mentor. I'm the healer. I will pull all the enemies, because then I have to fucking save your ass as the tank. You did that to any other tank, they're not gonna want to ever have you in their dungeon. Like, ever. They will never want you in their dungeons ever again. If you did that with a static, they would probably immediately send you out. That's probably why you're stuck doing dungeons, because your static kicked you out for being a fucking dumbass as a white mage. Your mentor status means nothing, because I know for certain that you're not likely to have played that dungeon as much as I have had to. Those early game dungeons, you're not as likely to replay once you get, to higher levels and you're sitting there just queuing in roulettes with all your higher level classes. You're not likely to. Ow. But yeah, no. Uh, I will tell anybody watching this. I've seen Zeppela cover the same topic. Uh, if you think it's a good idea to say, yeah, no, I'm a DPS or I'm a healer, I will go pull, you could go fuck yourself. Honestly. It's not your job to pull. Not your job to pull. Tank may be new. Healer may be new. You don't pull. Simple as. If you say, oh, but you're not pulling fast enough, you can eat 10 dicks. You don't pull. Not your job. If the tank doesn't have the stance on, you can't help but accidentally pull, and it's not your fault. That is when you say, hey, tank, stance. That's how you fix that. If your tank doesn't have the stance on. You tell them, hey, put your stance on. That's it. You be positive in this fucking game. You decide, oh yeah, no, I'm a DPS or I'm a healer. I raid all the time. Go fuck yourself. You're not the end all be all of this game. If you want a faster queue, or you want a faster dungeon, you should have queued with a party. You're doing roulettes. You're random rouletting. Queue with a party if you want a fast one. You queue with a party who knows what they're doing and wants to play at your speed. Simple as that. You let people play the speed they want to play. Doesn't matter if they're new, they're old, they're a returner. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter if they're at level 90. If they're not comfortable with it, that's, it's how it is. Don't queue with random roulettes. Don't roulette with randoms. If you want something so fast that, you'll save a minute and a half by doing it this way. I know you. That's that bitch. I saw the streaks on her face, those white markings. But yeah, in general, I know it's very rude to say it like that, but it's true. If you want to genuinely think that you are the end all be all of your fucking class, you are arrogant. You don't deserve to play the game. You really don't. And again, that may be rude. You pay for the game? I don't fucking care. And it's not oh, you don't pay my sub. I don't care. I don't care if I don't pay your sub. You'll be put on every fucking blacklist ever if you act like a dick. games are about escapism, and treating the game like a fucking job isn't good for that. You're not escaping shit. You're sitting there, you know, just kind of being an asshole to people you could be friends with. You could genuinely have a good time hanging out with them. But instead, you're going to be an asshole and think, you know, I need to get through this dungeon half a minute quicker. This dungeon should be done in, you know, what, like 11 minutes? And then you'll get upset if it'll take you 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Like, you have no concept of what it means to play a fucking game. And this goes for every game. Any video game. Yeah, you might... This isn't a game that you're going to be like, going pro in. How the fuck do you go pro in an MMO? You can't go pro in an MMO. It's only meant for fun. It is only meant for fun. You can't tell me... Actually, you can't tell anybody that, yeah, no, if you don't do it by this time in a game, if you don't play the game in this exact way, especially in MMO, that you're just bad at the game. And, you know, I hate it. People who act that way don't deserve to play video games because they're too self-centered, or they don't, you know, they don't take into consideration how other people like to play a game. And if you play that way, I don't like you. It's as simple as that. And I don't care if you have anything to say online about me. Because, while I'm online a lot, I'm not online enough that I could give two fucks. I have an actual job. And I play games for fun. If you don't play games for fun, then why are you playing a fucking game? You know what I mean? And for some of those people, the only way you can get through their head is by being fucking rude. Or what they would count as rude. That's about it. You can't just expect them to understand, you know, well thought out speeches talking about how it's very toxic and playing a game that way is just completely unproductive for everybody involved. You know, they don't listen to that. They don't care. They're not going to listen to reason. They want to play their game the way they play it to start out. It just upsets me how some people decide that a game should be played a certain way. Back onto a lighter topic. Rather than, you know, I'm not gonna continue to prattle on about how much, I'm not gonna continue to prattle on about stuff that people think is the right way to do something. Because I'm gonna be honest, there are right ways and wrong ways to do things in a linear aspect. Like if you tried to, let's say, play a game, but instead of to control said game, the game itself does not support a certain type of controller. Let's say, I know Final Fantasy does have controller support, but let's say it didn't. Let's say it was keyboard only, and you wanted to play the game with a controller, and you plug in the controller, nothing works, but you continue to try to play the game. That is technically the wrong way, because how can you play the game if it doesn't work that way? Like, if it doesn't work with the controller you're using, how can you play the game? Now, there are ways about that where you could be like, okay, so I'm going to use some software in order to bind the controller to be able to play the game properly. Yeah, then you're playing the game the right way. But saying you're not playing the game the right way, or saying you're bad at a game that is inherently impossible to be bad at, because this is a game meant to be played your way. You can't be bad at something like that. You can't just be. It's, again, physically impossible to be bad at a game that is to be played your way. My FC, they don't care about that. They're fine with slow play. They genuinely want to help new people play the game.
Regardless, I hate people who act like that in video games. Like, it's fine to say you're bad at, like, a game that has a professional scene, such as something like Overwatch, you know, and you're trying to be professional. If somebody's telling you, "Oh, you're bad in a ranked game, an unranked game," while you're just playing around, they're just a dick, and they deserve not to play the game. Honestly, it doesn't matter who they are. They could be the top #1 fucking healer in the game. You don't deserve to play the game if you're telling people in unranked, "Oh, you're bad, never play the game." You don't deserve it. You don't deserve to have fun. And in fact, you're probably not having fun in the game anymore because that's what you do. You play ranked to get to rank 1 just for the bragging rights, but you hate having to play the game a lot. You start seeing the game as a job, which isn't how you should play a game. It's just not how it works. This all stemmed from one white mage, but I've always held this personal opinion about video games. I've always held this opinion about games. Like, yeah, you could say, you know, but the game, like, all these different professionals play the game this way, but they're not on the same level. You are in an unranked game, or you are not in a savage raid. You know, you're not in a raid tier. You're not in a raid tier. You're not a professional. You know, you're not in a professional setting match. That's how it goes. If you're not in any of those, if you are legitimately just playing the game for fun, you're in unranked, you're in Final Fantasy in general. So long as you're not in the raid tier, I suppose. In one of the raid tiers, the higher level raid tiers, you can't say, you know, oh, play the game this way. People are having fun playing the game their way. You make the game harder for everybody else to have fun, which means you don't deserve to play. Stop paying for your sub, so you can't use that as an excuse to be a dick. Stop paying for your sub because nobody wants to play with you. You know what? In fact, continue to pay the sub, continue to play the game, but know that nobody wants to play with you. Play all your content solo. Only use duty supports, you know, or use a like-minded party, and that's it. Keep to yourselves. You want to join a random roulette? You better fucking act nice. You take your time, play the fucking game at the pace that everybody else is playing. Because you can't expect everybody to always be on your pace. Fuck you, white mage. That's about it. I'm sure the person, if they watch this, they'd know who it is. And they'd talk to their quote-unquote friends about it. But if they saw how that white mage played it, they'd be like, man, you're a bad white mage. Why would you... How did you get through this entire game without healing anything? How did you get to mentor with how you're playing right now? You know, that's how it goes. That's how it would be. Honestly, I'm just being honest with it. You're not. That white mage wasn't impressive. You were never. You probably will never be the best white mage. Doesn't matter if you've cleared raid tiers. You've got like the highest fucking prog that you could. You go into normal content, you don't seem to know how to fucking play the game. Oh, so she was using Malefic too. Ugh. But yeah, no. Fuck. Fuck that type of player. this particular episode. This particular episode has been a lot about me complaining about certain types of players. And I don't try to do that. I try to avoid that kind of stuff because I do believe people should play the way they want in the game. I believe that. But if you want to play like that, you stick to groups that if you want to play, you know, any type of way, really, you should stick to groups that want to play that way. If you're going into a random, you should typically allow your tank, especially random roulettes, you allow your tank to determine how fast you go. You don't determine that. It's not your job to determine it. It's not your job to determine how, you know, somebody else plays. How fast you should play, how fast everybody else in the party should play because of how fast you're playing. It's just simple as that, honestly. And it's annoying to see people try to force other people to play a certain way. I get that's hypocritical with how I've stated my thoughts on it. With how I was stating my personal feelings on it. It is hypocritical, yes. And I don't care if I'm being a hypocrite. You stick to the ways, like, if you want to play in that particular way, you stick to playing that particular way. You know, you stick to playing it that way. You don't act like you're so special that everybody has to follow how you want to play the game. You don't act like that. That's not how gameplay, like, that's not how playing a game works. Games are meant to be fun. You're meant to have fun in the game. Uh, you fuck off, Grand Archaeornis. There you go. Okay. Boof. Excuse me. Okay, celestial opposition. Okay. So I spent just what, like over just under an hour, 30 minutes so far doing quests, and I've only gotten to the Astrologian quests. I might not be able to finish all my questing today on this. I'll likely do some more off camera, off stream. It's very, like, I do that a lot. I do that kind of stuff off stream, stuff that's not quite as interesting. I was hoping to do some more interesting stuff today. But it's a good break from leveling, really. That's what I'm needing, is a decent break from leveling. Okay, I'm just gonna skip this cutscene. I think they don't have level 80 or 90 quests. I can't remember if they have level 70 quests or not. Now that I'm thinking about it. Because I think yesterday I said they don't have level 70 quests. That it stops at level 70. But I think they might. Like, just thinking about it, I think they might have level 70 quests. Yeah, what am I talking about? They do have level 70 quests, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they do. My paladin is on its level 70 quest soon. So they do have level 70 quests. But after level 70, they don't have anymore. I'm getting a lot of achievements done too. Getting a lot of achievements done. The next thing I think I'm doing is because I've finished Scholar. I finished Scholar's quests. The next thing on my list after Astrologian, there's no Sage, is Bard, I think. Unless I've finished Bard quests. I think I might have finished the Bard quests because back when I was doing Bard, I wasn't. I don't think I was streaming that. I only was doing the waiting to do the class quests on stream. Just because I wanted to get to level 60 as soon as possible. Leviva. Leveva. So she's cut her hair, it seems. It's probably something that happened in like the last cutscenes. It probably happened somewhere around there. And I didn't pay attention to it. I'm interested in the Paladin one. Not so interested in this one at the moment. Oh yeah, I will say I actually don't trust a lot of mentors' things on stuff. Solely because I had another mentor who hadn't played a map since it got changed. It was Keeper of the Lake. They had not played Keeper of the Lake since it got changed. And so they thought you still had to, smack away the cerulean tanks. They had no idea you didn't have to do that anymore. And that it's now, completely independent of that. There is no smacking of cerulean tanks going on. And they're like, oh. Because I said, just stay out of the AoEs. Or just stay away from the tanks. And they said, and make sure to smack the tanks away. I didn't say anything. But, because they weren't, a dick about it. You just don't have to do that mechanic anymore. Which is understandable. People don't often play all of that all the time. They're not just sitting there playing these like I do. Here we go. Okay. Finish that. Next is Bard. I don't think I have a Sage quest. There are no... Oh, there is a Sage quest. Oh, excuse me. There is indeed a Sage quest. I didn't know it had quests at level 70. Like this. I didn't realize that. I thought I'd check, just in case. But yeah, no. Guess I'm going to do this quest now. I think it is just one quest, though. So it won't take that long. I went to go to fly. I went to try and fly. Oh, she's a paladin. I was like, what is that on her back? Didn't realize. Paladin. But yeah, no. You can't always trust mentors on everything they say. Just because they might not actually know the mechanic for a dungeon. Yeah, they say mentor. They've gotten 1,500 commendations, like more than 1,000 dungeons. I've done more than 1,000 dungeons. I just don't have the commendations yet. And they've played every class up to level 90. You know? That's
it's like, eh, you know, I don't 100% trust them because I know a lot of dungeons. I play a lot of dungeons. I know them pretty much by heart. I just know a lot of the dungeons by heart, personally. And I know, yeah, I've played tank through all of the dungeons I've played in. Every dungeon I've played in, I've played tank. So I know how to tank every dungeon. Newer dungeons are the only ones that I might have a little trouble with. But even then, I still know how to play the dungeons, like, through mechanics. I might not know 100% of the mechanics, but I still know, you know, what to look out for, mechanic-wise. It's just, I don't trust them because I think some people, I can't say this is for all. Some people who get the mentor role, they're just kind of like, yeah, you know, I'm mentor. You kind of have to do what I say. I'll teach you how to play the game properly. When there is no proper way to play the game. Again, no proper way. And nobody could tell you there's a proper way. Now, they could tell you how to do a mechanic. That's for sure. It's important to know how to do mechanics. That's about the one thing they can really tell you how to do. And you can just, you can know that, yeah, this is how you do the mechanic. They told me how to do it. This is how it's done. You see them do it, and you're like, yeah, that's how it's done. But you can't take them at face value every time. You have to know, not 100% of the time they're not, or they're not right 100% of the time. There we go. I didn't know that was a shirt you could get in game. I didn't know there was like an open shirt like that. Also, I will stand by that claim, by the way. I will almost never trust a mentor. Because those who are flashing it and showing off that they're a mentor are the ones who think they know the game a lot of times. Like my FC, nearly everybody is actually a mentor, but they don't flash the, oh, hey, yeah, I'm a mentor sign. You know what I mean? They let you play your way. They, you know, tell you how to do a dungeon in a good way. It's not like, oh yeah, if you don't pull it at this speed, if you don't wall-to-wall everything in a fucking dungeon, like, you're trash. No, they don't care about that. They'll tell you go at your own pace. This is how mechanics work. This is how the mechanic works for a dungeon. Have fun. That's about it. Yeah, I've done all of that. So I'm on Machinist. I'm on the Machinist quests.
But those are the type of people, like my FC is the type of people who understand that the game is about fun. While yes, we will complain about some of our parties, but it's like we complain about things that should already be known. Like we don't complain about low-level people. We complain about people in high content. The people who should know. And yes, you can buy a level skip to level 80. But like if you're going to buy a level skip and then also get a story skip so you can just get to the new content as fast as possible, you're not likely to know how to play that class yet. You're not very likely to know how to play the class. You're not likely to be able to play that class in like a proper context until after you have learned, until after you've gone through several dungeons and realized what all your abilities do. Because I had a tank. And I was complaining in the dungeon about the tank. Because I was in like a level 80 dungeon, but they bought a level 80 skip. They had the full augmented Crypt Lurker set too, which comes with it. And the reason I could tell they had bought a skip was kind of just because they didn't seem to know how to play the class they were. And I can't say that for a fact that they bought a skip, but with how they were playing it, it felt like they did. It also didn't help that they had the full Crypt Lurker set, which you automatically get when you buy a level skip. You immediately get the full Crypt Lurker set, including the accessories. Like way back, I would say the Crypt Lurker set, like getting it in the last patch, not last patch, in an older patch, getting the full Crypt Lurker set is a good idea. But I don't say that now. I wouldn't say it's a great idea now because there's much better gear. And I can say the Crypt Lurker set is good for glam. I could say that for sure. But you can't say that it's great now to have the full set equipped. Because it really does look like you bought a level skip, especially if you have all of the fucking accessories too. Because you go a couple levels up. It's only good, like the Crypt Lurker set is only good for the first couple levels after 80. Really? It's only good for about that much content. Like, once you get to the first or second dungeon in, like, Endwalker or Shadowbringers. Yeah. Yeah, it's Shadowbringer, I think. Is it Shadowbringer or Endwalker? I think it's Shadowbringer. I mean, no, I think it's Endwalker, yeah. It's Endwalker I'm thinking about. Once you get into Endwalker, first or second dungeon, you're going to have better gear. You're going to have it dropping better gear. Level 58, then I get drill. Wait. Stormblood gets you up to 70, right? No, you get up to level 70 through Heaven's Word. Fuck, I don't even remember anymore. What the levels are now. Because, like, I thought you get to, like, level 90 at the end of Shadowbringer. But maybe not. I can't remember what level content all of it was. I suppose I could check. These are Endwalker. Endwalker trials, yeah. So Shadowbringer gets you up to 80. And then once you get into Endwalker. Yeah, once you get the first couple dungeons in Endwalker, I think even the Tower of Babel, you get, you just have better gear immediately. Hell, some of the gear you can buy in like a shop in Endwalker is better than augmented Crippler set. So it's hard to say like it's hard to say it's worth spending, you know, all those tomestones at level 80 in order to get that. Just to be, oh, full Crippler set armor. Now I can go work on the next one. I'm going to use that ability. Okay, so it's got a buff. I didn't realize it had that kind of buff. It's a defense buff. Huh. So is this level 58 stuff? Yeah. Okay. No, that's the finish for this quest, I suppose. Again, sorry if the sound cuts out. Every time I go to check my messages and stuff, the sound will cut out. And by the way, I'm not gonna knock somebody for getting a level skip or a story skip. I'm not really gonna knock anybody for that. Hell, my sister got a level skip, but she knows
not to just assume that, oh yeah, I know the class. She wanted to learn the class after getting the skip. She did research beforehand, even, in what class she wanted. And she didn't choose a tank or a healer to start out with at level 80 because, that's not a good idea, choosing one of those. She got a skip on a DPS.
DPS are a lot easier to do that with. Like, you can genuinely get a DPS and learn it. Because she's played the game for a while. Not as long as me, but she has played the game for quite a bit. So she knows, and she always plays DPSs. So she knows how a DPS works. She didn't just start the game and be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go play this game at level 80. She didn't get a story skip even. She just wanted a higher level class that she could play, she could help go through the story with and get like to the higher level content that me and my girlfriend enjoy together. She wanted to play some of that with us. Which I think is a fair thing. I think that's genuinely fair. And again, it is still fair. Like, she doesn't care about the story either, by the way. She doesn't care about the story. She's not too into the story. She does care about Gabu. That's about it. She likes Gabu. But it's because she says Gabu reminds her of me. And I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. But still, she enjoys the game. She likes playing it. And that's really what matters, is enjoying the game and playing the game the way you want. And genuinely, it is. Don't let anybody tell you it's wrong to buy anything like that. I would just suggest having played the game at least a bit before you go buying like a skip and thinking, oh yeah, I'm higher level, I'll be able to know this class. Like, if you've played tank in Final Fantasy before, I'd say it's fine if you wanted to buy a level skip for a different tank, If you played a DPS, honestly, DPS, I also feel like you could get away with just straight brand new to the game buying a DPS. So long as you know not to run ahead of your tank and think you're going to survive. I'm one of the people who will let you, a DPS, die by doing that, just to teach you the lesson that, hey, I control that, you don't. I can't really let that happen to a healer. But I will let a DPS die because I could deal with one less DPS. I'll have to pull a little bit slower. But one DPS is fine.
A DPS is replaceable. A healer, however, you can't really go that far without a healer unless you're like warrior. But even then, it's a lot harder. Story skips, level skips, like, I don't feel it's bad to do that, so long as, like, you know how to use the class. Like, story skips, I'll be more like, I guess you just don't care about the story, which is fair. But if you go through, you know, story and level skip, and think, yeah, I'm going to go play the highest level content. I'm gonna get through the Endwalker storyline and then go into high level content. Please don't do that, because you're likely not gonna get, especially if you choose. Again, I feel it's fine to do it with DPS. Don't do it with healer or tank. If you've never played healer or tank, please don't buy a level skip and think you're going to survive and be fine. It's not a good idea. I wouldn't knock you, like, I wouldn't judge you for skipping said story. I wouldn't judge somebody for wanting to skip the story like that. Just saying, yeah, no, I will get back to, I will go play the story a different time, you know, or saying I don't care about the story, I'm gonna be a tank or a healer is a bad idea. And then it's just not a good idea to do that. With the DPS, I do, again, feel it's fine. Don't immediately get into raiding content, though. You're gonna have to start off slow. Even as a DPS going into raiding content, you have to go slow. You can't think, you know, oh, I've played World of Warcraft, I can come in and, you know, I beat some of the hardest raids in World of Warcraft. They're not the same game. That's like saying, oh, I've beat the hardest raids in Final Fantasy. I'm going to go play World of Warcraft. It doesn't work that way, Chief. Sorry to disappoint you.
Eh. Again, sorry about getting into some just like heavy topics for this game. I just know for a fact that not everybody is going to want to like talk about that. I know not everybody wants to talk about stuff like that. And I'm willing to, at the cost of, like, you know, my own personal reputation almost. I'm willing to, you know, risk my own personal reputation in Final Fantasy to talk about that because it needs to be talked about in general. That's the kind of stuff that I feel like does need to be addressed. And some people have differing opinions on it. And I don't say my opinion is right, but like, I think in general, it's the kind of more sane opinion to have. Assuming that, you know, everybody is going to play your way is not, it's not healthy to the game. In terms of health to the game, I feel like my personal opinion on that matter is better. Now, I can't say for a fact it is, but what kind of game are you going to want to play? Are you going to want to play the game where the community itself is telling you, oh, if you don't play this way, or if you don't, you know, follow exactly what I do, pull wall to wall, you know, you're not allowed to be comfortable. Is that what you want? Would you play that game? Would you play a game that everybody says that, you know, you can't be comfortable in the game, you have to do it our way, or just be constantly harassed, you know? Is that really how you want, what kind of game you want to play? Because I sure don't. I wouldn't play that kind of game. However, playing a game that people are like, yeah, no, play. The other option being, yeah, it's fine to play the game the way you want, but if you're the type of person who wants those high octane all the time pulls, and you, a healer, want to be the front line, you know, join a group. Like, find an FC or make an FC that does that, you know. Find groups of like-minded people. If you go into a random roulette, you just have to accept that you have to follow what the tank wants to do. Because if the tank themselves can't, you know, you just have to. It's really all you can do. Because saying you're the white mage, that tank might not be as experienced, and it will not know to save you, or might not even try to save you. And then you're going to get upset because you died. Which type of game would you want to play? The one where people are more accepting of how you want to play the game and how fast you want to play the game? Or the game where, you know, people will judge you if you don't play exactly how they play? Which type of game would you want to play? You know? It's just, that's the difference in opinions there. That's literally the differences in the opinions. It's either, you know, you play the game
the way we want to, or you play how you want to.
And if you want to play certain ways, you play with groups. And accept other people for how they play the game. Sounds pretty reasonable. It really does. Sounds like a good game. Sounds like a fun game, a healthy game. Not a game where it'd be a chore just to play it. Ugh. Okay, so I've done the machinist. Do I have a dancer class? A dancer quest? Where is dancer? There it is. I do have a dancer quest. It's. I just genuinely feel that. Personally, to me, it doesn't make sense. Uh. It just doesn't make sense to me on people deciding, you know, how to play the game the right way, how that works. Because I don't feel there is a right or wrong way to play it. And there really shouldn't be a right or wrong way. It's an MMO. An MMORPG. Like, you're able to essentially be like a market mogul in this game if you wanted to. You don't have to, like, you don't have to be, quote unquote, the warrior of light. Like, in the story, yeah. But when you're just by yourself, you know, not really by yourself, but if you're just playing the game, having fun, you can have fun any way you want. You could literally be market mogul. You could be, if you wanted to, you could be an Imperial Garlean officer. You know, you can RP. You can roleplay. You can get a house, start a business. You know, start like a tavern. It doesn't matter. You can do all of that if you want to. All of that is shit you can just do. You can play how you want to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I'm not a fan of dancers so far. Gonna be honest. Not a fan. I will have to get used to it though. I like the dark skinned Miko. It's always nice. Okay, so dancer is done. Next is to black mage. Oh, where's black mage at? Where did it go? There it is. An unexpected journey. So I have to go over to the Weavers Guild. Weavers or Miners Guild, they're about the same distance apart. Oh, excuse me. I do try to just play one game, by the way. On stream. At a time. Not like until it's done, but I mean like I'll have one stream that'll be, you know, like Final Fantasy, and then I'll have a separate stream if I wanted to play a different game. Just so I can kind of keep them all separated. Unless, of course, I'm doing, if I were to do something like trying out demos for games, you know? If I were to do something like that, I would probably swap it up and, you know, have a stream that is like, oh, going to itch.io, you know, playing new demos, that kind of thing. And I would play all of them at kind of one video, one stream. I'm not saying I would do that. It's an idea for sure. I've thought about it. But I'm more of a person who likes to know what I'm getting into. I like to play games I'm comfortable with. So those are on my hunt log. I'm gonna just get rid of this real quick. Just gonna do that. And transpose. Because I'm gonna be doing that regardless. I'm gonna have to be doing my hunt logs at some point. Because I do want to finish those as well. I want to finish my hunting logs. Oh, so I have multiple coffers here. I will open those and probably put them in my glamour dresser. Because those are unique looks, in my opinion. A lot of those looks typically are unique. I've got several quests with Black Mage. I'm at level 52 on Black Mage. The longest one it was definitely Astro. After I get all of that done, I might go to leveling, and then if I get kind of like bored middle of leveling, I can swap to finishing up my one relic. The one relic I have that I need to finish. Well, I do have the Crown's Blade recollection, but I don't want to deal with that right now. I don't want to deal with increasing the Crown's Blade. Not right yet. Not right yet. I do want to do the... Is that... That Lalowitz A posing. That was terrifying. I want to do, like, the relics in order. I want to start with ARR. And I'm not going to level up all of them all the way unless I have to. Because in ARR, you only have to get one to Zodiac, or you only have to get one to max level. Which is nice. I like that. But you do, for one of the achievements, you have to get all of them. Like all of the base level ones. Which I think is not terribly difficult. Especially if I'm gonna be level 60 when I do it. It depends, though. "269th Order Mendicant Daza." Isn't that... Are they goblins? I don't think they're kobolds. They're called kobolds. Kobold and goblin are kind of damn near interchangeable. Like goblins, you know, you think tiny green. The imps are more like goblins, I believe, in this. Yep, the kobold. But the kobolds here remind me of goblins. Even though I know a kobold is technically, like, it's different than a goblin. I know a kobold is different than a goblin. Oh yeah, I will have to try to get Sephiroth. I have to get Sephiroth's bird. Maybe I can do that on a stream with my girlfriend. Try to help her get all the birds too. Okay, that was a quick quest. Not terribly long, for sure. I might finish up the Black Mage quest and then call it for now. I hate to do that. I wanted to finish all the quests today, but Astrologian took me a lot longer than I thought it would. And I do have work. Or else I would. As far as like other games I want to play, I've thought about kind of streaming some of my Overwatch gameplay. 'Cause I'm not terrible at Overwatch. And I'm trying to get better steadily. Trying to improve at Overwatch. Because, again, my girlfriend is in a esports team at the moment with Overwatch. Yeah, it's her college-based esports team, but still, she's pretty damn good. She's a healer. She's a support main. I said healer. She is a support main. I know for a fact supports are not healers, and I'm in Final Fantasy mode, which you call them healers in Final Fantasy. Because while they do have support abilities, their main deal is healing. The support is extra because you can't just like. There's no like med packs in saying, oh, you have potions. Potions suck ass. Can only use them so much. You can't just exist. You can't go through an entire dungeon with only potions, really. Back over to the Weaver's Guild. These quests haven't been that long, thankfully. I am hitting the 2.5 hours mark. For sure. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to stream all day if I could. But I do have other things I want to do other than stream. Because, like, I do have to slowly upload my VODs to my YouTube channel, which I can't do on stream, most likely. I also have work. I have daily stuff that I need. I have daily stuff I just need to do. Bills, clothes, like washing my clothes, washing myself. Nokian? Is that an action I got? Oh, so it is. So that enhanced flare. Blizzard 4. Over at the quicksand, I could just teleport to the Adventurers Guild. I don't have to waste 100 gil on that. Not that I would mind. I just don't have to. Today's stream was full of what some people may consider hot takes. And I do apologize for that. Yeah, who am I kidding? I don't fucking apologize. Genuinely, I do not feel bad for my takes on that. Like, my takes on those specific topics, I don't feel bad on. That's just true. I'm not going to feel bad for a take that I believe wholeheartedly.
because those takes don't hurt anybody. Those specific takes don't hurt anyone. I don't hate to say that. They don't hurt anyone. And I genuinely feel like the game would be a bit better for like I feel like some people need to hear those takes. Because there's people who don't want to get into games like these because people have the opposite take. Like Reddits, they show people saying, yeah, like, yeah, no, this is how the game should be, and you can't talk, like, you can't talk it out with those people. I'm not necessarily saving my dailies. I just don't want to have to go through dailies right now. I'll probably go through them later, off stream, while I'm at work, because I do have the luxury of playing games at work. Not everybody can say they have that luxury, but I'm not paid enough to care at work. If I was paid more, it might be a bit different, but I'm not paid enough to legitimately care too much. And I'm told to just do whatever it takes to stay awake, so it's like I am allowed to do stuff like that. It's not like I'm not allowed to play a video game. You are told to do whatever it takes to stay awake because I have a midnight shift. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Which is rough for some people. I'm used to it. I don't mind it either. I don't mind working those types of hours.
done? Yeah, there we go. Nice, bro. This scene cannot be skipped. Well, of course it cannot. What did I expect? To be able to skip a really short cutscene? That is just like, oh hey, we can work together? No. I shouldn't expect such little things. I may actually just take my break after this quest. Or I might sign off after this quest so I can get ready for work. I do have a couple hours, but I still have to get food and everything. So, whether I want to make food or just get something along the way, I don't know. But I also just want to kind of chill out, not really be on stream for a little bit, just because, you know, I wanna chill, maybe watch some YouTube while I'm lazing about for a little bit. Yeah, I could watch YouTube at work, but when I'm at work is because my girlfriend goes to school. Kind of have to wait for the night to be able to talk with her. But yeah, I'm probably gonna call it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Whether you watch on YouTube, you watch the VODs on YouTube, or whether you watch the streams live, I do appreciate it. If you don't know, I have a YouTube channel. It's Silver Tatagami Plays, spelled the same as it is in game. That's where I post all my VODs. I don't delete any of my content, so it stays up there. Even my old videos, wouldn't recommend watching them. Kind of bad. They're kind of bad, honestly. But a lot of them are cringe. But you know, you gotta live with that cringe. If you do like watching the VODs after 7 days, you know, because Twitch only saves them for 7 days on my channel. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Silver Tatagami Plays, or if you like watching my VODs live, my videos, if you like watching them live, you can follow me here on twitch.tv/Aragama. And I do appreciate it. Any views I get, whether you just tune in for a few minutes or whatever, I appreciate. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.